Good morning. Hi, this is G. If you're new to this channel, I usually do vlogs about my entire life and how messy I am, hoping that I will give you a little bit more of comfort knowing that we're not alone. But today I want to do something new. I'm gonna take you around my routine, my daily routine, and I'm gonna talk to you about one of the books that influenced me the most, and that's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Let's go. So society keeps telling us to be positive all the time, but that doesn't mean that will actually make us happy. Giving a fuck about everything doesn't guarantee that you're gonna be positive. The key of a happy living is not to give a fuck more about stuff, it's actually to give a fuck less about things and just care about the ones that we actually care. As humans, we care about things that really don't matter, and that just makes us feel bad about ourselves. In the end, it's okay to feel the way you feel. Beating yourself up because how you're feeling is just gonna make things worse. The unspoken truth is that happiness is an action. It's a form of an activity. It's not like something that it's given to you. For us to be happy, we need something to solve. Happiness requires struggle, and it comes from solving problems. True happiness occurs only when you enjoy the problems that you're having and you enjoy solving them. Think about that time that you had that struggle, like, I don't know, with your favorite subject in school. Like, for me, don't hate me, for me it was math. I loved solving those struggles, and that's something that was making me happy. Or even like streaming. I have so many struggles and I'm constantly anxious, but it's a kind of anxiety that I enjoy having. And it doesn't really matter where you go, you're always gonna find problems. And there is nothing wrong with that. The point is not to run from problems. The point is like to find problems that you enjoy solving. People that thought highly of themselves were less probable to cause problems and excelled in life. A generation later, researchers have come to a simple conclusion based on the years of data. We are not all exceptional. You're not. Do you know that the girl at school that she thinks, oh my god, I'm so cool. You're not exceptional, my lady, but not even you are. Not even I am. As it turns out, there is no point in feeling good about yourself if there's no reason for it. Makes sense, right? This means that you can be sad because you don't like yourself. It's alright. It's alright. You're not special. So the major downside of this like high self-esteem kind of society is that if you don't feel good, you're not positive all the time, you suck. And you feel that there's something wrong with you. Being average became to be like the new standard of failure, and people became so skeptical in accepting that they're gonna be average because they think that they will never achieve what they want. So many people are afraid of accepting mediocrity because like they believe that they will never achieve anything. Their life won't matter if they are not more than average. The truth, however, is that the knowledge of an acceptance of like what you really want will actually make you free from accomplishing goals that were not yours, but just things that you actually want to do and things that you wish you want to do. By the way, this is just a warm-up. Don't start complaining about my exercises, alright? Alright. This will allow you also to be happy about achieving your own goals without any external judgment. After these push-ups, I feel confident in saying that suffering is part of life, whether you like it or not. So instead of like avoiding negative things, just face them. Instead of asking, how do I stop suffering? Ask yourself, why am I suffering? For what purpose? I am suffering to have muscles. I'm not sure if I like this suffering though. Let's ignore the sweat altogether, please. But the author of the book, Mark Manson, says that in order to understand ourselves and how we work, we need to understand the layer of the onion, or like the metaphor of the awareness onion. So like in order to understand ourselves, we should first of all focus on how do I feel? For some people, it's really difficult to understand how do I feel. Am I angry? Am I sad about this? Am I excited? How is the emotion? The second layer then is to answer to the question, why do I feel this way? Why am I anxious about it? Why talking in public scares me? And that's already something difficult. But the most difficult layer that we need to understand how to answer is, why do I see this as a failure or as a success? Why talking in public is something that I should be doing, that I should be okay with doing, I should be like happy to do? Who decided that? Why do I want to have a good body? Who decided that I should be like buffed and all of that? And that helps us to understand where do we put our idea of success. Because sometimes our idea of success is not the same as society has. Like, for example, I had a switch in my brain when I started to realize that I had a switch when in the past I was struggling with like my image, the image of my body, and I always wanted to look like the models that were fit, thin and skinny and beautiful and toned and all of that, until I realized like, why do I think that that would be a success for me? It could be a success for someone else, but it doesn't have to be a success for me. I don't want to be in my life just someone that is fit. So now I'm understanding that I want to go to the gym, not to become like fit and skinny. I'm going mostly for my mental health, then also to get rid of the rage that I have inside. Okay, listen, I did not change my t-shirt. I don't want to hear about it like, oh my god, you went out so sweaty. Listen, there's 32 degrees outside. And anyway, I'll be sweaty. So, continuing. It's important to understand that each of us is responsible for their own like results in their life. Like regardless the external circumstances, we can only improve ourselves if we come to the realization that we are the final responsible of our own lives. So there is a difference between blaming other people for your own situation and actually feeling responsible for your situation. Yeah, you might be in a shitty situation mostly because of other people, but it's always on you how you decide to react, how you decide to feel about it. Another very important point that Mark Manson shares in his book is the power of uncertainty, something that you should search for, because if you are uncertain about something, you still have space to grow and to learn about it. Imagine if you're so sure about the earth is flat, so sure about it. So if someone comes to you telling you, oh, you know, maybe it has a star shape, you know, the earth has a star shape, and you're gonna be like, no, for sure no, and all of the other, everyone else's idea are not gonna be interesting to you because you're so sure. So something that I really honestly wish for everyone is to be uncertain about your own ideas. Maybe you can share this video with someone else if you found that there was at least one thought that you thought it was like, oh, that's a good one. Especially if you think that there is a friend of yours that should stop giving a fuck about other stuff that are not that important. Then he talks about like something that I think that we all heard way too many times and it got to be kind of cringe, which is success derives from how many times you failed. We heard that way too many times, right? But something that he says and that I found very, very interesting is like successful people, they enjoy doing whatever they are doing when failing, right? So if you don't like failing at the gym and you don't like to be, I don't know, to be weighting like, I don't know, benching 2 kilos the first time and you want to start already with 10, maybe you don't enjoy that activity. As we grow older, we have an avoidance for failure, which was not there when we were kids. When we were kids, we were falling, when we were trying to walk thousands of times and we were standing right back up, right? As we grow older, we start to avoid failure. That's mostly because of like how we are educated, like when you fail an exam, when you fail a test, but also from media. So when someone fails, it's seen as something like horrible. Mark Manson actually uses like a technique that it's do something that comes from his math teacher from the elementary school, if I'm not wrong. that was saying, if you have a problem, don't just sit there thinking about it, like, oh, what should I do? Try to do something. Try to do something to solve it. You working on it will bring you some ideas on how to actually solve it, and maybe will bring you to an unstuck position. Sorry, you're gonna see me changing outfits because later I have an event and I need to find what to wear. Anyway, continuing on the topic. So what Manson was saying is that if you're lacking on motivation, start to do like some small tasks. Just do something small. Even if it's not completely related to what you have to do, at least it's gonna, you know, motivate you to like, at least achieving one simple task will make you feel a little bit better, will give you that little bit of a sprint of serotonin that then will allow you to go for the bigger task that you have to work on. Rejection is something very, very important that you should learn to do in your life. Hi, I'm a people pleaser and I always say yes to things. I'm having struggles with this. So like, it is very important to understand when you say no to something, you're not like chaining yourself down, but you're actually freeing yourself to do things that you actually want to do. So to conclude, the mantra of our society is to be constantly happy, no matter the circumstances. And this brings us to be like very upset on how we are feeling. This brings us to think that we should give a fuck about everything. We should give a fuck about being vegan. We should give a fuck about going to the gym. We should give a fuck about being nice to other people. We should give a fuck about reading more. A lot of things that maybe we don't really care about. The way to get away from this loop is to stop giving a fuck about being anxious, being sad, being angry. These are all emotions that you have to feel. It is normal to feel, and it's stupid to then be mad because you are mad. You're mad, that's it. You're gonna have a shitty day, that's it. There is no reason for you to be positive every single day. You wanna cry all day today? Go for it. But what it is, it's important is that you understand that that's not a failing. Like, you're not a failure because of that. In essence, maturity is about giving a fuck about only essential things. This simplification actually brings us to a much happier life. So Mark Manson at the end of the book says, try this. Try to say no to things that don't bring value to your life. Going to the bar with your friends you don't feel that brings you value? Say no. Going for a run doesn't bring you value, but you saw all those videos of those people going running and you feel like I should go running too to be a healthy person? No. Waking up at 5 a.m. because that's what millionaires do? No. Start to say no about things that you don't really care about. Bring yourself to be more essential about things that you actually care about. So do something. Write down in the comments, what do you want to say no to? I personally want to say no. Actually, I already do, but I want to say no to social interactions that I don't care about. You know, that cousin that has a birthday party, you never talk to them, and like, I'm gonna say no. I will say no, and I will be ruthless about it. I hope this was useful for you. Comment, share, do whatever you want to. I really appreciate you for being here. I love you. Bye.